Today I've got a review of the Tilly and the Buttons Erin Dungarees and some hacks that I've thought of. So if that's the sort of thing that you like, keep watching. Hi everybody, welcome to my channel Frugalisama. My name's Sam. This is where I talk about all things sewing. Welcome if you're new, and if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much. It's very much appreciated to each and every one of you who comes back week in, week out. I usually talk about sewing on a budget or bring in hints and tips and the occasional reviews, and that's what this is. So today I've got Mandy the mannequin modelling the new Erin Dungarees from Tilly and the Buttons. Full disclosure, I actually work for a fabric shop. We do get sent patterns in advance of pattern releases, and this was the case for the Erin Dungarees. So the ones that you see on Mandy today are the ones that are made up for the shop, for a display model. So both the pattern and the fabric in this particular one were given to me, but all views are my own. With all that out of the way, I'll give you a little bit of review, tell you what I thought of it, and some hacks that I came up with as well. So what I will do as well is compare them with the Heyday Dungarees. I made the Heyday Dungarees last year. I've not worn dungarees since I was a toddler really, and I was a little bit on the fence about making dungarees, but really loved the Heyday Dungarees. So at the end as well, I'll do a little bit of a compare and contrast if you're thinking of buying one or the other, and if you've already got the Heydays wondering whether it's worth investing in the Erin Dungarees. I'll just give you my humble opinion. So I'll just go through the design details of the Erin Dungarees first. So you've got a front bib which is constructed of 4 pieces. It's got a middle bib here, and then you've got the side pieces which you can't really see in this fabric, and then you've got a top bit here, and then the back has got 2 pieces as well. It's just one solid piece, and then it's got the top bit. So I think the main point of difference of the Erin Dungarees is that the pockets are actually in the waist seam here. They're not patch pockets like they are on the Heyday Dungarees, and there's no actual bib pocket in the pattern either. The other main point of difference is that the bib front and back is fully lined. So there are a few design options within the Erin Dungarees. You can make them short length, which these are. You can make them cropped, or you can make them full length. Then there's 2 options for the fastenings there, so you can put 4 sets of ties on, tie them at the top like I have here, or you can just put 1 set of ties on and tie them at the front. I'll show you a stock picture of that as well. So those are the main design details. I think another big feature of these are that she has suggested that you can make it in almost any fabric. So when I was making these for the shop, I had the choice of everything in the shop. I was going to make them in a corduroy, to be quite honest, and I really was attracted to a pair of teal coloured Dashwood Studios that we've got. I thought this Dashwood Studio Woodland Notions would be really nice. It's got like a navy blue background and it's like a shibori print, and we called it shibori anyway. It's just a cotton poplin, so it's nice and lightweight, and means that when you put the lining on, it's not too bulky, and yeah, just a bit different, I thought. So it can be made in a corduroy, it can be made in a denim, it can be made in cotton poplin. She's actually suggested that you can make it in a viscose, and Philippa, my boss, made hers in a crepe, a triple crepe, which I thought was really interesting. But you can also make it in a stable jersey as well, so either a French terre or a ponte. Makes it really comfortable. I would avoid anything that's going to stretch at the knees. I wouldn't want anything that's going to bag out at the knees. But I thought it was really interesting that she made that suggestion that you could make it in a ponte. So those are the main design details. For sizing, these dungarees are now available in Tilly's new size range. So I think there are 15 sizes in this one. So it goes from a size 30-inch bust up to a 56-inch bust. 61-inch hip is the maximum hip. So generally, with Tilly and the Buttons patterns, I sew a size 5. I took a look at the finished garment measurements, and it had about 11 inches of ease on the waist. So I decided actually to go size down. I did that for 2 reasons. One, I wanted to be able to get the main part of the dungarees out of a metre of fabric, because I was only making the shorts version, I wasn't making the full length. So I wanted to be able to get it out of a metre of fabric just to prove to myself that I could. It did suggest quite a bit more for the dungarees. on the size 4, but I did squeeze it out of a metre, but then obviously you need about another half a metre for the lining, but the lining can be done in anything. It doesn't have to be the same sort of fabric. As usual with Tilly's patterns, really easy to sew. The instructions are really very straightforward, and it only took me about 3 hours to sew, something like that, maybe a little bit longer. I actually started sewing these whilst the shop was open, whilst I was serving customers, and then just did a bit of finishing off in about an hour or something like that. So I wasn't concentrating entirely on the sewing. So yeah, a really easy sew. She does have a lot of sew-alongs to support sewing this as well. So I think if you're a beginner sewer, you should be okay. Don't be frightened of the princess seams. They are very gentle curve. So I decided for these ones that I would put the ties on at the shoulder, but you can put a buttonhole here and just put one set of ties on, and you can tie that how you like. So I think these are a really versatile dungaree pattern. Lots of options here to play about with. Maybe stripe matching or something like that, or colour blocking, with it being different pieces, and you can have a bit of fun with the pockets just using a contrasting fabric. I use the same fabric that I used on the lining here, which is another Woodland Notions fabric. So that's the ones that I made originally. I decided whilst I was making these that they were really sort of hackable and lots of design options that I could add to another pair of my own. And the first thought that I had was to make them completely reversible, especially the shorts version. I thought, you know, for holidays, if you make them completely reversible, you've got 2 garments in one. So I will insert photographs as well. But so what I did is made them in this fun print that my friend gave me. And then if you just whip them inside out, I just got a chambray on the other side. So same pair, as you can see, you've got chambray at one side and then the fun print at the other side. So to do that, I just changed the order of sewing up a little bit. What she does in the instructions is she gets you to construct the bit parts, join them at the seams, at the side seams, and then sew around the top, insert the pockets and construct the shorts separately, and then attach the shorts. So to do them reversible, I just constructed the whole of the bib and the shorts, attached them together, and then did the same for the inside. Joined them around the bib area, flipped it through one leg, pulled it through, and what I did is turned up the seam allowance on the hem, which is 1 centimetre, and just top stitched them, and it was really easy to do. I'm sure some clever person will be able to do it where you can put the whole thing right sides together by leaving a gap in the lining, like, you know, like you'd bag out a blazer. I think somebody might be able to come up with that, but I was thinking too much about making the reversible without being too clever. So the other alterations that I made is I didn't actually put the waist seam pockets on the chambray side. So I just added a bib pocket within the princess seams here. So you've got a bib pocket here, because I thought if I put waist seam pockets there and there was some at the other side, I thought that would make it too bulky. I've got them on this side, so you've got inside pockets when you wear them that way round, and then when you wear them this way round, you've got that on the inside. And that was really easy to do. I've actually put a line in. I like a lined pocket. It saves your fingers getting burnt and turning over those seams. But I just inserted them within that princess seam here. So you can make that as big as you like. You can make it whatever shape you like. You could put like angles on like that. I just used up what fabric I had on that one. And the other little hack that I came up with, not really a hack, but I've got one of those fancy grommet machines. So instead of putting buttonholes in, I actually put grommets in. So you can see there, we've got a grommet there. Obviously it's going to be the wrong way around on one side, but I think only a sewer is going to know which is the right side and which is the wrong side on that. So yeah, I thought that was a fun little hack. Just if you're not keen on doing buttonholes, if you've not got one of these grommet machines, you can buy eyelets really quite cheaply with the tool to insert them, and you just need a hammer to put them in. I think sort of for hackability, the Erin Dungarees are great. You've got fabric choice will make all the difference. You can make them look different with whatever fabric you make. You've got all the different lengths to do and the way you tie them. You could actually even put like a little loop there. If you don't want to do buttonholes and you just want one tie. Or you could put belt loops on. You could tie it with a belt, you could put belt loops on. I think they're a really good sound pattern. So in comparison to the Heyday dungarees then, would I have bought these if I didn't already have the Heyday dungaree pattern? And the answer is no. That is because on the surface, when I first looked at this pattern, I thought they were too similar, so I wouldn't have invested, I think the £17.50 for the printed and £13 for the PDF for the Erin Dungarees. The Heyday dungarees are only 12 Australian dollars, which works out at about £12. They are only available as either PDF or projector files, are the Waves and Wild ones. You can't get it in a printed version, but I'm not bothered about that anyway. And even if you were comparing PDFs, it's still a much cheaper option. I'm glad that I've got them because I can see all the different options that are available. So I think having got them now, I do like them, but I still wouldn't want to own two pairs of dungaree patterns that are so similar. Heydays are much simpler in construction because the bodice piece and the leg piece are joined together, so you don't have to actually join them at the waist here, and then the bib piece, I think it's cut, it's just got a seam down the front there. A lot of the features that the Erin dungarees have, I'm sure that they could be transferred onto the Heydays. So for ease of sewing, I would say the Heydays are slightly easier and the price point is much cheaper. And I think, you know, they're equally as adaptable. Obviously, they don't have this waist seam here, but there's nothing to stop you doing that and putting some pockets in the Heydays and omitting those patch pockets if you're not a fan of patch pockets. I think some people haven't liked the patch these pockets on the Erins because they're in a funny place. You end up doing that to put your hands in your pockets. So it would be easy to adapt to either pattern and put seam pockets in if you wanted to, or just omit those completely, put patch pockets on. So that's my review of the Erin Dungarees. I hope you enjoyed it. If this is the sort of thing that you like, please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. That will tell you when I've got new videos out. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.